kind of activity that people usually conduct?
For me, I think it's circus, museum, picnic, beach, or cinemas, many things. So let's begin with circus. What do you think about circus?
Uh, the circus always related to us because we can watch acrobatic or balance. What magic in the air, animal training. I refer to what magic because it's magical and make me always surprised with the magic in the on the stage.
You got your point, but from my perspective, I think circus is a problem of animal abuse. You know, these days, a lot of wild animals have been taken from the nature where they must belong to. Many people catch the wild animals and bring it into the circus, lock them in a cage, and hit them with a whip for the rest of their life. And the most cruel thing I want to tell you is forcing animals to do a lot of difficult tricks just to please the eye of the audience. And if you knew it and you keep doing it, if you go to the circus and enjoy the show, I can strongly say that you exactly are accomplice of animal abuse. That's what I think. So we talk about the music. How do you think about it?
It seems to me that most of people not only take interest in history about where they're born, but also keen on foreign history, right? As far as I'm concerned, museum where it contain a host of Asian historical things and information that related to. When we go to the museum, we can observe some masterpiece in architecture, antiques, which is amazingly beautiful. So you can also accumulate knowledge and experiences. So I've never gone to the museum before, but I will when I have free time. So what do you think?
I know what you mean, but I'm in the contract side. You know, the day there's some museum display in abroad, and there's some museum display inappropriate stuff. For example, some exhibition showcasing the human bodies. You know, all the bodies and all the organs of the people are 100% real, and that's interesting. And I think it's kind of hard to see the part things of the bodies of the people, who used to breathe, who used to live, turn into scientific specimen for just for public consumption.
So instead of going to a quiet place like a museum, why don't we go to a fun fair, which is amazingly fun? So for me, it's a pleasant activity, right?
Yeah.
Everyone should have a leisure time to go somewhere and chill out. And I think I prefer going to fun fair, to museum, because I have tons of stuff to play there, such as roller coaster or ghost towns or etc. I mean, it seems like intriguing. So what did you think about that?
As for me, I don't like fun fair very much because it is quite crowded and noisy. I like the tranquility and their games. There that I think is for kids to play rather than me. What do you think about picnic?
I really keen on picnics because it's a wonderful time for family and friends gather around and doing some stuff like chatting, eating, or they can play some outdoor game together. That's so funny. Moreover, the people can take the opportunity to breathe in the clean air as well as to get closer to scenery of nature. It's really great.
So how about beach?
The beach is a great place to relax, where the sound of the waves always make me feel comfortable. There I can swim all day, play volleyball, sunbathing, and view sandcastle. Especially I can enjoy all the seafood dishes here.
I know what you mean, but don't you think the beach or the park where we go to picnic these days, nowadays, is polluted by the people?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there were so many trash along the seashore or in the park. Depends on people's behavior, which is inappropriate, absolutely. So, what do you think about cinema? I mean, these days, a lot of teenagers keen on going to the cinema, and so do I. And how about you, Vikas?
Yeah, I often go to the cinema with my buddies and enjoy with a lot of Stranger Things, which is driven from time to time, And I really like the moment when I enjoy the movie with a big screen and with the perfect sound effects. Yeah, in the theater and
popcorn too.
yeah, really good. And that's what I think.
It's intriguing, right?
Yeah.
New film also have every month or every week. This is the famous when you go to the cinema too much.
So
Do you have anything else to discuss?
I think this is good enough to discuss.
Okay,
So
we're done here.
So I start first.
Yeah.
Yes.
There are two expenses of the cinemas. Firstly, cinema has a lot of latest movies that you will not be able to watch at home at the time. And secondly, the cinema has a big screen with the base in white and cold. At the cinema, you can experience better sound effects and visual quality that is so much fun and enjoyable when everyone is watching. So how about you?
You have got a point. But I have just one bad thing when you go into a cinema is the ticket price. The ticket price when you go into a cinema is super expensive, especially for the film that have just been released on a blockbuster. Right, 1 month ago, I went to see a film with the friend of mine the first day it come out, but the ticket price was terribly costly. And so let's move on circus, right? What are advantage of circus activities?
Well, I think the first advantage of circus is that they always present you the unbelievably spectacular but risky performances, such as the acrobats and the bed of nails or fire eating. So those performances make the audience feel extremely thrilled and and also fascinated by the fact that they can witness all those rare and unusual acts for the first time in their lives. I think it would be awesome.
I have a disadvantage for circus about animals. Concern travel expose the animal to his substance. Many of animals used in circus are raised in captivity. The animals that you see performance in the circus were usually raised in captivity after the industrial culture took place.
Yeah, I feel like I feel so bad for the animals too, and another downside of circus is I think I don't know about other people, but personally I feel like circus has been dying out in recent years because of the quality of the show is not as outstanding as it used to be, and with the rapid development of modern means of entertainment like YouTube, cable TV, the internet, which also plays a huge role of killing this kind of show. So I think it's kind of pity. And does beach have any benefits?
I think the beach is one of the most relaxing activity that help you forget anxiety at work. And at the beach, with the relaxing scenery and refreshing air, it's a good way to relieve your body from the stress after hard day's work, and you will be able to eat fresh seafood in the seas with cooling air and picturesque scenery. And how about you?
Yeah, I totally agree. Because the ocean is lit, but however, the sunlight. I hate the sunlight when you go to the beach because of the intensity is immensely high. And if you go out the water without applying sunscreen or covering clothing, you'll definitely get sunburns, and which will hurt for days, and that's not a comfortable feeling at all.
Right, absolutely. The Vietnam weather is unfavorable. It's hot year round, and if you don't have sun cream, definitely your skin will get burned.
Yeah, definitely. And another downside when it comes to beach is, the visitors have always keep an eye for sharks and other dangerous living creatures. Can be waiting somewhere under the water to punch you, to bite you like a jellyfish or sea urchin. Doesn't sound painful, doesn't it?
Right, the natural animal. Right?
Yeah. And what do you like when you go to the picnic?
Yes, the picnics is places that you gather together with your families, and spending time with families is always great bonding experience. And spending time outdoors, you will be getting close with in the nature and breathing fresh air and enjoy a great view. So let's move on the fun fair. Do you enjoy fun fair?
About a fun fair, right? It have both advantage and disadvantage. And for me, about the cons, fun fair will have positive effect on your mental health due to it contains a lot of entertainment areas and games, and it obviously helps you to chill out and relax. At the same back, you can live your life behind, and you can drop yourself to a place of imagination and joy. About the drawback of fun fair is inevitable. The major downside is waiting time. If you go on a big time, you have to wait in line for a long time when you wait for playing game and wait for the car to move all the entertainment areas. And have you ever heard about the disco club?
Yeah, I've heard about it actually. And the disco club is like a place where people come to it to find pleasures. They can dance and listen to the upbeat music, and I think people want to, and the people they expect to about the club is they can broaden your friend circle by connecting to the people who have the same interests as you, and despite its recreational side, the dark side of it is much more scary. Like the club is like a trap that can entice you to the social evils like drug addiction, prostitution, and alcoholism, that which can lead you to the sin path, and it can ruin your life. And so, especially in Vietnam, so I don't highly recommend you to come to this place for entertainment.
Right, you have one.
I assume you guys have been to the museum before, right? So what is the impressive things when you go to the museum?
Okay, for the most part, I would say that I'm not much a museum goer, but I do think museums are beneficial for people, especially young. And for my perspective, going to the museum is informative. There are many valuable things with historical value, and I feel like I can learn a wealth of things about the ancestor and our heritage. And
You've got great point. I just want to add one more positive aspect of the museum. It's like the people, they want to directly see and admire things that they just only see through the TV or read, like in magazine, like the fossils of prehistoric dinosaurs or the renowned artworks.
About the disadvantage of a museum is time. Is time. They are not open all the time. There will always be a fixed term for you to enter the museum, and most of them are closed on Mondays. And you?
I have disadvantage about money. The money is often the number one problem because it's so prohibitively expensive. So anything else?
No.
Yeah, no.